Welcome in. It's your commish and your favorite co-commish with a special guest returning again, Mescal Bobby himself. What's up? Say hello to the peeps.
Hello, SSTV. Hello, Salty Spittoons in general. Today I'm here on a mission to uncover some truths and also just, have some fun and see what's going on.
Yeah, sure. We got a lot for you today. For today, it's going to be lots of fun segments. So we'll just get into it. Eli's contender. I'm doing the contender this week, and I think it's savage. He's been making moves, and I think he's getting ready for the playoffs. Shoot, we'll get into why later on into the trade segment. But for now, Tony, who's your pretender?
Pretenders getting harder and harder every week. The playoff hopefuls are getting more, I guess, specific. Like we know who's on the list.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah.
From that sample size, somebody had some pretty rough injury luck. For that reason, I'm going to say that Tex-Mex Anna and her team are championship pretenders for now.
Yeah.
No more Cooper Kupp. Losing part of that three-headed monster hurts. We're waiting for more details on Andrew's injury, and she's got a lot of bye weeks still being accounted for. So I think the rest of the season is going to be rough. I mean, I don't think it'll be rough enough that she'll miss the playoffs, but what is this roster going to look like, and is she going to be able to, let's say she sneaks in the 5 or 6 seed, is she going to be able to beat Mescal, for example, in the playoffs? I don't know that lineup has that punching power anymore.
That'll be tough. Mescal, who you got for your contender, the pretender? Do you align with them, or?
I'm gonna say I align with the pretender on nobody, bro. None of these are right. Put the little music, ding, 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 ding. The pretender in my eyes is somebody who we praised last week, but had some really bad fallouts. Could have done some good trades, but chose not to. And now he's out of the playoffs. Is Culero. That's my pretender for the season, right? Culero had some potential at the start of the season. Just slept on all of us, bro. Like didn't want to trade with nobody. And that's where it lands them.
Yep.
Same song that Diego sang too. So that's who I got. And then my contender is always me, bro. I'm the contender. Nobody could take the ship away from me. Come on now. Everybody know that.
Everybody know that.
Damn. Some nice hot, some hot fire facts being thrown out there. All right. So we'll get into trades now. You had Cooper Kupp, who went down with IR, and I mean we'll go over briefly. Just Savage Dev actually ended up picking him up, giving away Terrence Marshall. Should be an interesting one. I think he's trying to obviously build his team for a playoff run. And if Cooper Kupp, if he's willing to hold Cooper Kupp in his IR spot, and he does come back, would be a big time move. Anna got Marshall. I'm not sure if she dropped him or not, but neither here nor there. Got something for him. Next trade was Josh himself making a playoff run as well. Getting Najee and Herbie from Savage Dev, and giving away Elijah Mitchell, Kadarius Toney, and $10 Fab. And then in terms of the third trade, you got Monty and Wilson going to Tony, picking that up, and then Mescal getting Lenny and Mooney, which started a slight controversy, I feel. But yeah, I think that's it for trades. Oh, no, actually, I think there's one. Tony, I think you pointed it out. What was the trade that happened?
Oh, yeah. So you guys noticed Watson is now rostered. A-Trod's Eddie traded to acquire Watson, and in exchange he released his dignity. So we now know who's the team that you don't want to root for this team, guys. You don't want to be aligned with Watson. We support women and all workers' rights to have a safe workplace environment. So if you care about like any of that kind of stuff, then or those people, you don't want to be rooting for H-Rods at any point.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Are we on live on camera right now, or are you saying you have no clue about this Watson the drama that happened
Watson fellow?
the last 2 years?
I didn't know, bro. You gotta fill me in.
He had like 22, 24 sexual assault cases filed against
him
for like
30. I think a bunch of masseuses that he would
I think after like 2 you stop counting and just be like put him in jail.
how many cases you got? A lot.
A lot.
But yeah, it was all like involving like inappropriate conduct with masseuses and violating their
Hey man, you gotta get desperate
safety.
in fantasy if you want to pick someone up like that.
Gotta be. That's what I'm saying. There's no shame. We have is there no word
zero shame in this game.
What's the word?
I'm glad none of my players have any, lawsuits or anything against them.
This year.
I mean, if we wanted to do a deep dive, there's Kamara's court cases in March. So
yeah, so we'll see how that goes. All right, well, I'll go through a quick recap over last week. A. Rojas making sure that no bullshit like the 50-pointer Mixon came to bite his ass. So
never again.
Definitely secured that win. We're gonna move right through that. And then Mescal looking a bit human. Yeah, he got his 8th win in his 8-win streak, and it wasn't a strong performance that we're used to, which was interesting. Jay Molly with a convincing win over Diego, getting 130 over his 112, I think.
Yep.
So that's a riser. That Dante Foreman pickup really made a fucking difference. Got himself an RB2 by fucking sniper right there. And then Savage Dev, not a convincing win, but got it done against Cool Arrow. Little Chubb, also without a convincing win, but ended up somehow beating the Bruja herself. Not sure what happened there, but I guess it takes 3 Amana's players to go down for.
I can explain. So you guys remember that scene in Harry Potter where Ron had the broken wand?
Is it the Snape scene?
No. The broken wand. Ron's trying to cast a spell. Got slug mouth. Anna got that slug mouth. Estival switched out the wands when she wasn't looking. She went for the cast. It was
See, this is why she needs to go back to her candle dealer because she needed that protection, that bounce back protection candle.
Damn.
No, I believe she did get that candle in between the game. Like she was trying to fix it with another spell, which I think she was hoping for that Devontae Smith fumble. Y'all remember that game?
Oh, I do.
Devontae Smith at some point really did need a fumble at some point for Texans to have a chance at winning, and it was a little too late.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Damn.
Don't do wizardry.
Don't mess with it.
Stay away
if
from
you want to end up like Diego,
say no to spells.
Don't want to touch. Just say no.
Just say no. Yeah.
All right, so we're going on to the next segment. It's am I reading this right? Dav's diary.
Yes. So I actually called up Dav last night, and while he didn't pick up, actually somehow the phone on the other side, it must have been on like one of those butt dials that like butt pickups, and I actually got a glimpse of Dav writing down on his diary what he really thought. So I'm gonna play it for y'all. Just give me a second real quick, okay?
Okay.
Dear diary, today I finally realized my love for Mescal Pappy. His team is so good that I've lost all hope for the ship. That is why I have decided to mask my pent-up feelings with aggression towards the absolute maverick that runs our league. I just hope that my feelings aren't uncovered. How unlucky am I that I won't play him for the rest of the season, just to lose to him once more. Guess I'll just have to admire from afar. Anyways, gotta get back to looking at his lineup all day and imagine that it's mine. XO, 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 love, savagely dab. Wow, guys, did you? So you heard it here first. I think
Yeah,
Savage Dab has a crush on me, and he's just talking all this shit.
That was next level. That was
that
investigative
was.
reporting. Is that illegal?
Damn.
Can you record someone's conversation?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I
That's
got a warrant though. Even though I didn't know that he wasn't gonna pick up and he was gonna butt pick up, I got a warrant so that I could capture his audio. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was good. That was a
Terrific.
good segment, guys. I mean, awesome. All right, and then we'll go into our power rankings. Do you want to announce number one, Tony?
I think we all know who it is. It's been a long time coming, and we're gonna have a new number one. It was historically Mezcal, but this week it's just Poppy. It's still just Poppy, and it's always been Poppy. Poppy's home, right at number one, always putting up big points. And I don't know. I mean, he might be right. He's going to achieve that feat that he mentioned in the chat, where he's the only person who's going to beat every single other manager in the league at least once this season.
No, I mean, and that is definitely a possible feat that he could accomplish. So it'll be an interesting one. I think the last two games after Calero, which he could potentially lose that one, but other than that, he plays me, and he also plays at Tex-Mex with the bum of rosters that we have. So, I mean, he could accomplish that. And at number two, we got our Clerigoat himself at Tony. It was a tough one. I really didn't want to put you at one, especially after that fucking amazing performance that you just had. Convincing, if not. But I have it right now. Like, I think you have a tougher schedule. Yeah, you face Diego, but I think you also face Josh, a little riser there. So it should be an interesting one. And you place Derek Yeti. And I mean, he's only going off, so you're gonna need another great performance against him. So, and at number three, Mescal, you want to announce him, or you want Tony to do it for you?
you mean
I don't
Tex-Mex
think he
Donna?
wants to.
That is not his number three.
That is not number three. Who is it, Tony? Correct him, please, for me.
That would be best friend to the Mezcal, the one and only Savage Dav,
Savage Dad.
just picked up a very interesting Kadarius Toney. I mean, we'll see. Every time the guy touches the ball, he looks, I mean, electric is the word everybody
Looks
uses.
good. Yeah.
Good is safe. I mean, there's, that's for certain. You never know the role, but that's an interesting pickup. He picked up Watson, so the receivers just keep stockpiling over there, and he's got a chance with those receivers to boom any week. So he's been getting wins, and he's got a chance to be in every game going forward too.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. At number four, now we have Tex-Mex. Fast faller, and it could only fall a bit more. Luckily, she does have the 6 wins to potentially solidify that playoff run. If it wasn't for that, I think she'd definitely be. She's not safe yet, but right now, these next couple of matchups, I mean, it's very important that she doesn't lose out, or her playoff hopes might come to an end, depending on what happens with the rest of the season. 3 games. Anything can really happen, but so far it's looking like she's in the playoffs, but
do you think
it's tough
that's
losing 3 players?
Do you think that is not a consequence of, but there's some correlation with, again, we talked about the other week where Diego's problem was he's swinging for a impervious starting lineup, but then trying to sacrifice depth and versatility with the lineup for a long season.
Yeah.
This is an example of somebody who, once her lineup was full, it was hitting. And we're immediately seeing does not have the switchability, the depth of the roster to replace anybody at this point.
Yeah.
So is this another case of a team that would have done well to take a 2-for-1 deal to try to have those options? I mean, we'll see. Like you said, probably not going to end up missing the playoffs as a result of it. I said that too. But I don't know. Would you, at this point of the season, would you rather have? Let's use Cup as an example, just because I don't want to pick one of her players, in like a realistic scenario. But like Cup downgraded into like Higgins and into Swift, right? Like
Yeah.
if you have those pieces to be able to mix and match, and if Cup's isn't hurt, how much different is that lineup? How much more optionality does it have? Is that better in some cases than having a perfect one piece lineup across the board? I don't know. That's something I've been toying with over here on my team, right? Because I mean, well, I do have some higher ranked players, but the whole point for me has been like I want options. I want different player types. I want different guys who could any given week provide me relief in case of injury, in case of suspension. And it's worked, you know. I mean, I've been able to make those pieces work. I had that 1 week where I had everybody hurt or on bye, and I still came out of that. And it's kind of all about the way I designed my roster this year. So I don't know. I mean, that's another interesting case because it's not often we get to see a team who is that scary a couple weeks ago be as human as they are now.
The scariest team week 4, the scariest team.
I mean, yeah, no, or not really 4. I would say like, what was it, like 2 weeks ago when like the second game ETN, because ETN hit and it was kind of like, oh, is he gonna do it again? And then he did it again, and then you factored in like, oh damn, so Andrews, ETN, now this team is like crazy with news that Patterson's coming back, and it's like, okay, the starting lineup's there now. But no, it's interesting. It's just kind of like hearing you describe the situation. I was like, is this another case where depth is, is a reason? The reason I keep bringing it up is because I think it's super interesting, the discourse in the trades that we have in the league. Because it used to be no one had a game plan. Now everyone's game plan is, I won't do a 2-for-1. I'll never not get the best player in the deal because I need the best player every time. And there's a time and a place for that. And I think that's been the undoing of a lot of teams right now, is not knowing when's the time to execute that strategy and when's the time to get flyers or get just versatility. I mean, fantasy is based on talent, but it's also based on matchups. And I think we're throwing matchups to the way and just trying to start the better player and try to get the better player. And I wonder if anyone else course corrects next year, and if we see some of that, or if we have the same situation. I mean, I'll start doing some deals where I trade 1 for 2, and I lost the best player, but we'll see how it plays out for the whole year. But
yeah. I mean, at the end of it is a game, and it is something that we have to remember. Yeah, there's money and stakes at the end, but at the end of it, like the person that's really having the most fun ends up typically winning it. So, and right now, I mean, like right now, Savage, he's just been continuously making moves, honestly, and I mean, and that's how he's been calculating it, where it's like, you know what, fuck it. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I mean, his roster's in the playoffs, and he's been consistent about that. I think he's done that the last couple of years. Yeah, has it given him a chip yet? No, but I mean, he's always in the playoff picture, in my opinion, and I think that's someone that I think has been good about making trades, whether it be 1 for 2 or 2 for 1. It's whatever his team needs at that point in time. Just an example there.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Mhm. But I mean, the I guess we're going to really back in. Going to number 5, Little Chubb. Josh Allen came to play. Stephon Diggs came to play, and I mean he's our number 5 power ranking. He's only going up. Ended up knocking off Anna, and I think potentially solidifying himself into the playoff picture. And then rounding out at number 6, Tony got some words there.
Yeah, I mean, number 6, we're talking about a man who embodies survival. When Destiny had a child, it was him. This is Destiny's child right here.
You say he's Beyonce?
I'm saying that he's a survivor and he's not gonna give up. Cool kid, still hanging on by a thread with no Breece Hall, no Jamar Chase, and some of these guys not delivering. But I mean, you know, it's not about how you win, it's about just getting a win. And it really like helped this case in week 9 where he beat Eddie. And
Yeah.
then in 10 was a rough showing, and it doesn't matter that it was, you know, 100 or by 1. You know, a loss is a loss. On to the next one.
Mhm.
So now it's just schedule. Now can he survive Josh, who I think you've beaten before this year? I don't remember if you've already played together, but it's basically the team's beatable. Mezcal's a whole different monster, so week 12 is rough. But then you get Chubb in a control your own destiny matchup. So
own destiny, basically, yeah.
Your whole future is right in front of you right here. You can keep that 6 with 2 of those wins. So, you know, hats off to you, because it would have been really easy to lose every game after you lost those 2 guys, but you've done enough to stay in the race.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So here we have the week 9 Poppy, which is A Rojas always leading. Then you shortly have Mescal Poppy, Tex Mexana, Cool Arrow, Chubb, and Cool Kid, all within 1 point of each other.
Damn.
This was last week's, right? And then under that is the bottom 4, the bottom feeders. And then now we got some moves, bro. Basically what happened was Jay Molly launching up 2 points to beat H Rods and Diego. Still very close to each other, like in Poppy scenario.
In Poppy,
Cool Kid and Jay Molly are right there with each other in terms of how well they've performed, how well they've managed their teams, and how many points they've gotten. The edge out here is Cool Kid has been on more of a upwards trend, I think, than Jay Molly. Jay Molly's been stuck at the bottom. The other thing is Cool Arrow now losing ground, even though he was number 4 somehow. Now the Poppy is reflecting the true nature of Cool Arrow's team, right? Cool Arrow isn't really the performer that we thought he was, and I foresee that at the end of our league, Cool Arrow is going to be in the bottom 3. That's just my prediction there. Then we have the unstoppable A Rojas at the very top. Another thing to note here is now he's breaking away a little bit more from the second place. Before he was within reach, right? He was like 10 Poppy points away from me. This man's is unstoppable. I think he's gonna make it all the way to the end of the league to be one of the 2 final contestants. And then Tex Mexana is just always consistent. That's all we can get from this. So that was my segment on the Poppy. Any thoughts?
No, I mean, I think it's fair. I think I'm not sure about Coolero. I think that loss against Savage Dev really made his team take a hit. It was a must-win game because, I mean, obviously he's facing you, and that's going to be a tough matchup. I'm not sure what the rest of the season looks like, but after that, you only have 2 more games after I mean, I guess it's another must-win game against you, and we'll talk more about it in a bit. But it's going to be tough. It's tough sledding from here. I think he needs to win every single one of the games and hope for a bunch of scenarios to happen. So I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough one. He's got a good team. It just yeah.
I just want somebody to look at you guys the way that the Poppy looks at me. I appreciate that.
Okay, and I think Mescal dropped, and will
That's all right. We'll rock
I
and
don't-
roll. We'll keep it rolling.
yeah,
there
we'll
he
just
goes.
rock and roll.
We're leaving.
Is it coming in?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, he's trying to get back in. And then we'll clap when he gets in. Clap for the boy.
My bad. I didn't know which button was stop share and which one's leave.
All right, you're good.
All right, going into the matchups and pick 'em.
Yep.
We talked about the Poppy. Now we're going to matchups and pick 'em, and you got Lil Chubb versus Diego. We put that as the least important one, just because right now, shit, Diego doesn't even have a QB. You know, don't even know who he's going to pick up there. It's not looking really good. So, because obviously Miami Dolphins are on bye, and I mean, Little Chubb, he's got a better team, I think, in my opinion. And I mean, for me, I'm picking Chubb. I don't know if y'all think there's any more to talk about with that matchup. I don't
Nah,
see it.
same. I think that's easy, but that's even before I realized that he didn't have a quarterback. I forgot the Dolphins were on a bye, so Tua was gone. Damn.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think Diego has a roster to be upsetting people. It's just this is just not his season.
It is upsetting me to look at it every week.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to get something started for our week 12 game.
Right. Okay, Mescal, who you got between Chubb and Diego?
Let me look at that matchup real quick. Chubb and Diego. Man, is it even a question? Is it even a question? I thought Diego had already deleted his sleeper.
Bro, he's still going for those $20. Gotta get some cash out somehow.
Obviously, Little Chubb.
Yeah. Okay. So going to the next matchup, I don't think it's an insignificant matchup. It's just that I feel like the rest of the matchups are a bit juicier, just because I mean, you have A Rojas, really, like I think he's already cemented his playoff status, and then you got H Rods. It's unfortunate he has a team, man. It just hasn't all hit at the right time. And right now, obviously, I have A Rojas winning it. There's not really much talked about, except there is a potential upset, especially every week when someone's got Derek Yeti. And I think I saw in the news forecast that I think it was snowing in Vermont, so gotta be careful there.
I think it's going to be close to just. There's a couple of like positions where it could go either way. I think our lead backs are going to hit. Receivers interesting because he's got receivers who don't have opportunity but do have good matchups. So, you know, one busted play and those guys could hit. I've got receivers with good matchups as well, but also like Sutton and Davis haven't always gotten crazy targets. So they did last week. I hope they do it again. I picked up Trey McBride, which I
that would be an interesting one.
I don't know if anybody even like thought to pick him up because I sure as hell didn't. And then like I
did.
Dude, okay, but you'd have had to give up Greg D for it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that.
It sure as hell didn't come to mind for me. I was going through the list of free agents again one more time this morning after waivers, and then I saw it and I was like, oh fuck, somebody does have to play tight end for the Cardinals, and he's a high draft capital rookie tight end.
Yeah, second round pick, right?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was a second round pick. But yeah, no, that's fuck, man. I mean, it could be. I mean, no Hollywood Brown this week, no Ertz. No rest of the season. It's interesting. So I mean, between a couple of those spots, it could go either way. I don't have any reservations that he could upset me, and I just hope he doesn't.
Yeah. Who you got, Miss Gunn? You got your boy, or you got
Ariel Haas is par for the course to finish the second seed, and H Rod's team isn't there to stop him.
yeah.
So something about his team's not rubbing you the right way.
No, I think what do you mean, bro? I think your team is just like
Watson.
no one from week 12 to week 16 is gonna be able to beat you.
Damn, heard it here first.
Yep.
Hot takes. All right, next matchup, you got the Cousin Bowl. You got Culero against Mezcal the Poppy. I think it's closer. Obviously, Mezcal, all his Dolphins players are on bye. And right now, I mean, his team is still a starting team for anyone else would love to have Mezcal's team right now, even if it's basically his bench warmers playing. But I mean, because of that, you got the JV team facing whatever starters Culero has, and he's got some key pieces, especially with Jonathan Taylor, Gibson potentially. Well, you got to watch out for Gibson. I think he got injured a little bit. Not sure about that. And then he's got some key pieces coming back with Keenan Allen potentially. So it'll be an interesting one. If Keenan Allen is back and Landry is back, I think he has a bit more potential of winning it. I hope the Bills aren't going to stop the Cleveland Browns, but they haven't been as dominant as you would hope. So I think you got some points there. So I'm going Culero on this one. I'm looking for the upset just because content.
Not fair. I am not. I mean, I think he does have some exploitable matchups, but I mean, I don't know. I'm seeing Allen's first game back from injury. Landry's been hurt, trying to play him in the lineup. Latavius in the lineup. He's got some options to swap those guys out. I think this is going to be a mix of for like him. He needs to figure out what matchups he wants to play. Those wouldn't be it for me, but I've been wrong before. But I think even with Mezcal's bench unit, I think he's gonna still take this one out, get the dub.
Yeah.
Oh, is my team on bye this week?
Basically.
Oh, I didn't notice.
You didn't notice?
Basically,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
How many? Yeah, no. I'm gonna say I'm gonna agree with you guys. Or wait, not Culero.
No,
me.
I took Cool. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna agree with A. Rojas because he's always right. Although I will say I'm a little bit more scared of facing Culero than I was of facing Savage Dab. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
We can still switch up the lineups, bro. It's a click of a button. It's scary how much power it has. All right. Next matchup, we got the Dab Bowl revenge match.
Yeah.
From the last ass whooping Savage Dab got from his sister. So it'll be an interesting one. And I mean, at this point, it kind of cements either side in terms of playoff, where I mean, there's going to be a 0% chance the winning team actually makes it into, or it doesn't make it into playoffs, I think. So it should be a good one. I think there's a lot of stake. It's unfortunate that Tex makes his team. Obviously, she's ETN's on bye, and she needs to figure out what pieces she wants to put in. But I think there's some good matchups in there. I think London, Patterson. I mean, I think it comes down to the Atlanta game and potentially that trade that she got with Marshall. I think it's going to be a close one, especially with Komet going off potentially against Atlanta too. And I have Savage Dab winning it just because if Andrews isn't in, which we're assuming he's not gonna be, and you got the Jags on bye, so her important pieces really aren't playing, and I don't think she has enough to overcome a full Savage Dab roster, right? I mean, minus Rashad White, I don't know if he was paying him, but there's a starting lineup that Savage Dab has put together. shit, even put in so much fab on Christian Watson too. I don't know if y'all
Yeah.
saw that, how much he put in for, I mean, I'm assuming he thinks he's gonna be a full-time starter, puts up another 3 touchdowns. He's got this on lock, this matchup on lock. What do y'all think?
I agree. I don't think it's close. I think the injuries make it hard, and yeah, and the buys, injuries in the buys is just it's a punt week, and that's okay. You know, maybe she can make some deals that get her players for this week, and maybe get herself in the race. But if it's a punt week, it's a punt week. I mean, it's hard to get through those injuries, those buys. So I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think, Muscat?
Yeah, I think Dav's got this one, and I mean he's got Zeke, so
Shit.
and anything can
Hurts him to
happen.
say, huh?
You know, got the best first round of the draft running back of this year. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so he's gonna take it.
You like Zeke more
And
than
the
Chubb?
final.
Oh, Zeke is 100% better than Chubb, bro. What do you mean?
Hell.
It hurt me.
Damn.
It hurt me to let him go.
And then final matchup. Playoff stakes right now. Jay Molly against your commish himself. Both fighting for their lives. You got Mixon, Cook, the second string running back, Pacheco, Edwards. It's gonna be an interesting fucking matchup because you got both teams on equal playing ground right now. It's tough, man. And Josh has been putting in the work with those moves, picking up Najee Harris. Shit, it's gonna be tough to decide, but right now, I think Jamal Williams being ill and Harris being a Harris himself, I think Josh has a slight edge over me. Shoot, even coming down to the defense and the kicker that he just picked up, like it's gonna be a close one. It'll either be one of us just destroys the other, it'll be super close, and it'll come down to like a point or two. So and I gotta choose Jay Molly, really. Like his team's scarier. I think he has the better matchups. But
You
what do
heard
y'all
it here
think?
first. J Molly team scary.
At least in this matchup. What do you think,
That one
Sonny?
is that one is tough because I see your I see it 50-50 in the matchups category. Like I'd take
Mhm.
you and Hurts over having Herbert in Kansas City with the weapons being hurt. Even though
Mhm.
Herbert lives to put up stats in Kansas
Herbert
City.
every time loves to put up stats against KC. Any other matchup, trash. But against KC, that's where he just pops off.
Yeah, he sees dollar signs for those. And then you got Mixon against Pitt, but Watt's back. Historically, we've been able to run a little bit on Pittsburgh, so I think I like that better.
Mhm.
Dallas is a
Yeah.
whole different monster. Dallas in like defensive DVOA against the run, I think is also like top 5. They're like the only team that's top
Mhm.
5 in rushing and pass DVOA.
And
So I mean,
pass,
like,
yeah.
so that's a tough ass matchup. Um, I don't know if
But
he's
they're
actually going
hot.
to
That
play.
team is hot, man.
They're hot, but like your opportunity to score on Dallas is going to come through the air as far as like I think the chunk plays are going to be concerned. So it's really going to be like is he going to get into the red zone and get the touchdowns? If that's the case, that's how I see Cook hitting. If
Mhm.
not, then probably it's going to be a Justin Jefferson game because Diggs gives up yards, not touchdowns. So he'll generate
Yeah.
turnovers and he'll give up short passes. Not a lot of yak, but you know, I don't know that Cook's going to have a great week this week. So it opens the door for you, and then I get to your
Mhm.
receivers, and it's tough sledding there because I mean, how do you trust Pittman against either elite receiver in Philly? How do you trust Robinson against? I mean, I mean, himself. I mean, he's not it anymore.
Yeah.
And then Josh has Adams, which sounds great in theory, but when you get Patrick Surtain, he's been shutting everybody down.
Dude, that's tough, man.
And Baltimore's defense is one of the most improved defenses in the league since the beginning of the season. Shout out to whoever has that defense on their roster. So I don't know. You guys really have me torn here. I'm gonna lean Josh as well for the upside, but I'm not comfortable. I mean, Evan McPherson's put up a -1. I know that because it was on when he was on my team, so it's not like that's safe either. Yeah, I'm gonna lean Josh here, but this one's probably the toughest matchup, and it should be. I mean, it's the most dramatic. One of you guys is gonna take a substantial lead in your playoff push, so I think it's gonna be a good one to watch.
Yeah, no,
I think it's a tie.
It's a
I
tie.
think it's going to be the
I
first ever tie in fantasy football.
Bro, I think I'll still take a tie, really, if that's the case. It'll be interesting. You heard it here first. A tie called by Mezcal Papi.
And I'm always right. The prophet.
The prophet himself. Yeah, but I mean, I guess that's it. We'll wrap it up here. Thanks for joining, y'all. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate y'all. Thanks for joining Mezcal Papi, your special guest, with those hot takes. Yes. And Tony, you want to close it up for us?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is it. The last week for everybody to trade. That's the key focus here. So get them in, like Papi says. Papi knows best.
But don't trade with Savage Dab.
Apparently, I mean, but if you got to do what you got to do, that's it, guys. Just make sure you get those trades in, and we'll see who's ready for this playoff push. And if you guys want to have any fights in the chat with me, let me know. I can get one going. I'll fight anybody, specifically Eddie. I said it before. I don't care that you broke your elbow.
Damn, that's crazy.
All right, that's it for me.
All
right. Well, we out ya. Peace.
Peace.
That money clip us now, the new now looks like